Your eyes do not deceive you. That is 4 legendary inscriptions and 5 inscriptions total, which is completely nuts. So stick around in this video for a review of what is possibly the best set of armaments in the game right now, and also a little bit of the test results to see how they perform. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and as you have probably noticed, the camera quality is way different than what I normally use, as is the mic quality. I'm spending a bunch of time with family this week. I'm recording in 2 different studios. One is actually a studio. The other, it's just a total mess, okay? But I can actually record, and I did want to make videos for you, and I want to give a big thank you to Cortex, by the way, who's been guest posting on the channel. For those of you wondering if I'm compensating Cortex for making videos on my channel, the answer is yes, obviously I am. If he were guest posting and trying to grow his own channel and referring people to his channel during the video, that would be a different story. That's a different kind of guest post. So yes, I'm taking care of Cortex, and Cortex is taking care of entertaining you all while I spend a little bit of time with family. And I did get some really weird comments. Like some people were like, I hate you, I'm unsubscribing. And it's like, holy cow, man. I'm doing the best I can to make some videos while I'm on vacation. And there's no shot I could have lined up all these videos before going on vacation with a 2-month-old baby and a 3-year-old in the house. No freaking shot. So anyways, let's get back on target, back on topic for what we're here to look at, which is this absolutely insane set of armaments. Now, this set of armaments comes from Sean. Sean is a monster kraken. We don't even use the word whale. We got to talk about the word kraken in the Chinese Rise of Kingdom servers. And also, he has an account in 1960 that's over 600 million power last I checked, although it's fighting right now. It's probably dropped a bit. And also, he's got a supremely whaled account in Call of Dragons, and he's in my Call of Dragons server, and he and I get along really, really well. He runs, or is one of the leaders of DNS, which is a big alliance there. So I connected with Sean through Call of Dragons, and during our conversations, he sent me a picture of his absolutely insane armaments, which he has had for over a month, by the way, which is insane. So I'm pretty sure that every one of these armaments came from either traveling or spending. The majority of it is probably spending in order to actually get this crazy set. And if you're like, bro, Chisgule, I can't read what those do. Well, I can show you in game. That's actually really easy to get a look at. So let's go in game now, and I can show you what each of those legendary inscriptions does. And the unfortunate thing is that he doesn't have a bunch of the stats to go with it. But I'll show you, just the inscriptions alone are insanely powerful. And the takeaway from this video is that, yeah, the legendary inscriptions are crazy. They're crazy. And as a KVK reward, they're completely overpowered. So what does this do? The first one, Hunter. The wielder's troops deals 5% extra skill damage. But if it's direct damage to a single target, it's boosted to 10%. So that's 15% total skill damage. Now, if it's area of effect damage, you get a 2% boost instead of a 10% boost. And that is a grand total of 7%. Now, there is a cooldown of 5 seconds that I don't remember ever being listed here before, which is very interesting. So it looks like this is 5% all the time. And then sometimes you'll get either a 2% or a 10% boost to your skill damage. This cooldown, maybe I just don't remember it? Was that always here? Let's continue on. Up next, Unstoppable. The wielder's troop deals 5% extra skill damage. And when dealing direct damage to the target, the damage has a 30% chance to be boosted by 10%. This is similar to the first one. Okay, the first inscription we looked at, but this works with area of effect damage. Area of effect damage still qualifies as direct damage. The language here is just a little bit weird, but you can see here this specifically requires a single target on the previous inscription, whereas this one does not. Okay, so this would work with, say, Joan of Arc, okay, Joan Prime, doing area of effect damage. Anyways, 30% chance to be boosted by 10%, cooldown again of 5 seconds. Let's get a look at the next one, which is Balanced. Increases the normal attack damage resistance of the wielder's troop by 3.5%. Now, I reached out to support, and they wouldn't tell me how this is different from normal sort of damage reduction effects, but it is a different form of damage reduction than what you typically see. Damage resistance is different than damage reduction. And I don't know exactly how it's different, but the multiplier is somewhere different in the formula. That says, upon reaching 80% rage, their troop deals 8% more skill damage for 3 seconds. So this is interesting because presumably for like a really punchy active skill, you'll do a lot of damage. But I don't think this works for the full rage cycle. I don't think this works for the secondary commander, probably. And certainly a commander like Sargon is not going to get a lot of benefit from this, and there is a cooldown of 5 seconds. From here, Intrepid, just a flat 10% skill damage. Like literally, we're looking at 2 legendary accessories worth of goodness. If I go to my legendary accessories here, right, when we talk about a skill damage boost, here it is, Pendant of Eternal Light. It's like 2 of them. Okay, that's kind of insane. It's actually kind of nuts. So that legendary set is really crazy. It's very powerful, but it really is lacking on the stats. I can show it to you again, and you can see like, oh yeah, wait a minute. So he's got the legendary inscriptions, which is really badass, but it is missing the key stats. Now, this picture was taken over a month ago. Sean has had these armaments for a very long time, which is kind of crazy. And the beauty of a set like this is that, well, since it doesn't have a lot of troop-specific stats, it could go on any troop type, really. Archers, infantry, or cavalry. It does have a small amount of cavalry health. It does have a small amount of infantry defense. Okay, so there's a skewing over here towards cavalry, I think, with some of the stats that it's got. But if you wanted to see the results, and I bet that you do, here is it one duel that Sean did with these armaments. Now, what was he battling against? The armaments on the other side have 35% of stats. So you're looking at Sean's set of armaments, okay, which I showed you, which were on screen moments ago with the legendary inscriptions, versus 35% of cavalry stats. Just raw stats, man. Just raw stats. And the inscriptions outperform. Now, you'd kind of expect that. The inscriptions are actually just insane. So you're looking at 19,100 to 24,700 sevs. That's Nevsky Joan versus Nevsky Joan. Now, obviously, running multiple versions of this test would confirm that the result is sound. But this is the one result Sean sent me. I assume he actually did lots of testing, and this video is actually going to be a surprise to Sean that I'm making it. So a big thank you again to Sean for sending me these pictures and your insane armaments. We were just having, like a casual conversation, and I realized, I was like, what am I going to make a video about today? And I was like, oh yeah, people want to see these armaments probably, and they want to see these duel results. So here they are. If you can get your hands on these crazy legendary inscriptions, then you can do some really crazy stuff. Now, for what it's worth, if I go in over here, I do have a crazy legendary inscription myself. It's probably living on Richard I right now, maybe. Maybe it's not even in use. Kind of nuts. I have a legendary inscription over here, and it's one that enhances shield effects. And I've talked about this in a previous video where I was like, so what do I do with this thing? Like, if I actually had a crit set for YSS and Hera, it'd be really good. So for now, I'm just kind of waiting. I got this from, I believe, Dispatches. I believe it was a dispatch. It might have honestly been a travel that I got this crazy armament. So here we are. I'm waiting. We'll see when I use it. Eventually, I will. Now, if you want to see the video where I talk more in depth about this particular armament and how I got it, I'll have a card in the end screen. And if you're just looking for like more general guidance about what the heck you should be doing with your armaments, I'll have a card in the end screen for that one as well.